you're wavy. Hope you're gravy. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing good. Are you good? Hope so. I watched the bottle, by the way. If you watched yesterday's video. Actually watched the bottle. I need to cut my nails. Oh my god, my nails are so long. I need to cut my nails. Still kind of smells. Oh, I think it's fine though. I think it's fine. It doesn't matter. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. Yeah. I washed it and there's still a bit of moisture, so it keeps getting on my lips. Anyway. Let's move on. 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 I'm 22 poems deep into my anthology. 22, 28 to go. 28 to go. I want to reach like 50, then I'll publish it. I need to start designing the cover art so that it's ready to go. I can just publish the same day I finish. Yeah, then I'll just market it, I guess. I'm gonna have a little, yeah, I'll try promo it as I write it. As much as I can. Like I said, there's a top 100 list on Amazon for the poetry category. Poetry isn't a big category, so you never know. Maybe it's possible to get a few hundred sales. I don't know. I don't know what it's weird because the number one book, at least when I last checked a couple days ago, it had like, it didn't have a lot of reviews. I want to say 30 something, but that might be cap. Let's actually look at it. Oh, my nails are ridiculous, bro. So long. Amazon poetry. Yeah, it's got 38 reviews, number one, and then number two has 2,320 reviews. And then number three, which is a Dr. Seuss book, has 24,191. Obviously, the Dr. Seuss books are older. So I think what's happening here is the number one book right now, it's new. It's a new entry, so it hasn't been on these charts for as long. Number two has 2,320 reviews, so it's probably been on the charts a bit longer. Number three, which is a Dr. Seuss book, has 24,191 reviews. So yeah, it's probably it's Dr. Seuss, so decades. Well, Amazon hasn't been around that long, but people know Dr. Seuss is what I'm saying. So this has been it's probably however long Amazon Kindle has been around. This book, this collection has probably been there. Anyway. But that's just the top three. If you go down to like number 100, yeah. I don't know. It might be possible. It might be possible to crack the top 100. I'm not sure. I wish they showed sales. I wish there was a way to find out sales. Let's Google if it's that's. My laptop is just turned off. I didn't know it was on. Amazon poetry book sales. Okay, I found a website here that seems to. Yeah, I don't know if poets are selling a lot on Amazon. That's why I'm thinking it might be possible to crack the top 100. So let's read here. It says poetry sales statistics. This is published on February 14, 2023. Over 10,156 poetry books have been published each year as of 2013. From 2002 to 2013, over 121,000 poetry books were published in the US, or just over 10,090 per year. Okay, let me skip over some of this stuff. I just want to know about sales. How many people read poetry as of 2017? Over As of 2017, over 11.7% of US adults read poetry at least once a year. This was an increase of more than 75% compared to 2012, when only 6.7% of Americans were reading poetry books at least once a year. However, this is still below the 2002 level of 12.1% of US citizens reading poetry books during a year. Going back further, in 1992, over 17% of Americans read at least one poetry book over the past 12 months. Interesting. You know what? You know the amazing thing about the US is that you actually record this information. Imagine I tried to find out like these sort of stats for like South Africa, where I live. It's impossible. 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 14.5% of women stated that they read poetry during the past 12 months. Only 8.7% of men made the same statement. This makes women 67% more likely to read poetry than men. Good news for me. When I publish my... Well, is it good news or is it just news? I don't know. Well, I don't know. I like women. So if I publish my poetry book, I guess more women than men will be reading that. And it's like love poems as well. So, you know, that increases the likelihood of the readership being more female. Americans ages 18 to 34 are the only group that read poetry over the national average, with 17.5% of people ages 18 to 24 reading poetry at least once a year, and 12.13% of people ages 25 to 34 doing the same. Only 9.9% of people aged between 45 and 54 read poetry books at least once a year. Which format do poetry readers prefer? 29.3% of poetry readers read poetry in only print books. 28.2% of poetry readers use only ebooks to read poetry. 9.9% of people only listen to poetry in audio format. 32.6% of people use both digital channels, ebooks, and audio to read poetry. That's good news for me because I'm only publishing on ebook. So, you know, in the future you could publish in print. Poetry readers are among the most digital-friendly book readers. That's good news for me, as over 70.7% of them don't buy print books to read poetry. Okay. In the UK, poetry book sales generate over 12 million Great British pounds in a year as of... What? What is GBP? I'm assuming that's Great British pounds. British pound sterling. GBP is the abbreviation for British pound sterling. No, it's not. What is the G? Is Great British pound? The British pound sterling is symbolized by the pound sign. Anyway, I think it means Great British pound. So poetry generated how much? 2018, they generated 12 million Great British pounds, or British pound sterling. During the same year, over 1.3 million poetry books were sold. That's not bad. That's crazy though. Like one author, like one best-selling like fictional author. So let's say like a J.K. Rowling, or like a I don't know, Stephen King or Dean Koontz, or all these people. Dean Koontz is crazy. I know he sells very well. Like they could just release one book and outsell the entire category of poetry. That's crazy. Could they though? Which authors are like breaking 1 million in sales these days? I'm sure there's some. Anyway, poetry book revenue in the UK increased by 15% in 2018 over 2017, which was already 13% bigger compared to 2016. The average poetry book in the UK costs around £9.46 as of 2018. 66.7% of poetry buyers are under the age of 34. 41% of poetry readers in the UK are girls and women aged between 13 and 22. 41% of poetry readers in the UK are girls and women aged between 13 and 22. Interesting. So probably the majority of the readers in both poetry in the UK are women. Because this is just 13, this is just between 13 and 22. So if you include all women, that 41% probably reaches above 50%. Insta poetry statistics. Insta poetry was the driving factor behind the rise in poetry books' popularity in the US in 2017 and 2018. In 2019, 7 of the top 20 Amazon best-selling poetry books were written by Insta poets. This trend is especially popular in Canada, where Insta poets account for the majority of the poetry book sales. What the hell is an Insta poet? During 2017, 80% of all poetry books sold in Canada were written by Insta poets, and in 2018, this group accounted for over 70% of all poetry sales. Even in 2020, over 49% of all poetry sales were still coming from Insta poets. What, just people that just publish their poetry? Just people that just publish their poetry on Instagram, and it gains popularity, and then they publish on Kindle. I think that's what it means to be Insta poet. Man, I pray that I can do something similar with poetry here, because I put it on my YouTube community tab, and I obviously market it here in my videos, so I'm hoping that helps. It helps drive sales at least a little bit. We'll see when I publish. We'll see if that helps. Best-selling poetry books of all time. When it comes to the best-selling poetry books of all time, record sales in poetry. When it comes to the best-selling books of all time, record sales in poetry are much lower than in other types of books due to the genre's comparatively reduced popularity with readers. From the given list, The Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri and The Prophet by Khalil Gibran are the best-selling poetry books of all time, selling over 11 million copies. How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss also sold over 10 million copies. A Light in the Attic and Where the Sidewalk Ends, both by Shel Silverstein, each sold in excess of 4.5 million copies. The Divine Comedy is the oldest poetry book on the list, originally published in 1304. Oh my god. Older titles in the list could be expected to have a far higher number of copies sold than listed due to historical sales tracking differences. So then they list a bunch of I guess I can read the top 10 TV. Well, okay, so they didn't really, this article didn't really tell me what I wanted to know. I wanted to know like modern statistics pertaining to like poetry sales, but I guess no one's really tracking that. Damn, I just read there's someone that said, I published a poetry book in March and have sold about 50 copies since then and given away 60 plus Kindle copies. Yeah, realistically, if I get one sale, obviously I want to get more than one sale. I want to get, yeah, you never know. But yeah, the poetry is not, even if I wasn't writing poetry, even if I was publishing, because I am writing a novel right now, even when I publish my novel, like marketing is such a big thing, man. Like that's probably most of the work is the marketing. So once my book is published, I'll probably be just trying to push that as much as I can. We'll see. Maybe I need to start doing like ASMR shorts where I whisper some of the poems. That could help. Whatever I can do, man, just to build hype around that and at least get more than 50 sales. If I can get more than 50 sales, at least I can say I got more than 50 sales. If I can get like 100 sales, it's success, sweet success. But that's why I'm saying I think it's possible to crack the top 100 because I don't think poetry sells very well. So I don't think you have to get crazy sales to be in the top 100. I think if you sold 1,000 books, I think you could get into the top 100. I don't know if that's true. It might be way off. But I don't think poetry's selling that well, to be honest. We need to revive poetry, guys. We need a revival because this is sad. We're down bad right now. I can read the top 10 poetry books for you. The Divine Comedy by Dante, The Prophet by Khalil. I don't know if it's Gibran or Gibran. How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss is number 3. A Light in the Attic by Shel Silverstein. Should I read the sales? Okay, let me read this out. So The Divine Comedy got 11 million. The Prophet by Khalil Gibran got 11 million. How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss got 10 million. So number 4, A Light in the Attic by Shel Silverstein got 5 million. Number 5, Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein got 4.5 million. Number 6, Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur got 3 million. Number 7, The Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam by Omar Khayyam got 2 million. The Odyssey by Homer got 2 million. Number 9, so number 8 was The Odyssey. Number 9, The Hill We Climb, an inaugural poem for the country by Amanda Gorman got 1 million. Number 10, Change Sings by Amanda Gorman got 1 million. 1 million copies. That's crazy. Amanda Gorman, published in 2021. She's getting 1 million in sales in 2021. That's crazy. Even Rupi Kaur, it's spelled K-A-U-R. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Kaur, 2014, 3 million. Because a lot of these books are old, like very old. Some of them are like from, it's obviously the Divine Comedy is from like 14th century, 1304 to be precise, and got one 1923, 1957, 1981, 1974, 1859, 1614, Homer, The Odyssey, 1614. So a lot of these books are old, but it's impressive that people like Amanda Gorman and Rupi Kaur managed to sell so many copies in the 21st century. Well done to those people. What I have and that person that got 50 sales didn't have is this YouTube channel. So probably, I don't know who they are. Let me read what they were saying. Sorry about that, you're in my stomach. Let me read what they're saying. This is the Kindle Direct Publishing community. Aiden Sampson. It's just a forum that anyone can post on. Yes, so I doubt this person, you know, I think this is just a normal person. Wait, where is this post? So I pressed the link and now I'm... Wait. Where is that? This person said they sold 0. They sold 0 books. Yeah, poetry does not sell well. Oh, I found the thing I read. I published a poetry book in March and have sold about 50 copies since then and given away 60 plus Kindle copies. I don't care about royalties, so I set the price at $3.99 for the paperback and $0.99 for the Kindle version. Those results exceeded my expectations, so I considered it successful. I doubt many poets are looking to make a lot of money and think setting the price low may increase some impulse purchases. Even the best known poets don't sell that many copies of a book. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think it's possible to crack the top 100. Because this person is saying even the best known poets don't sell that many copies of a book. It's sad. If you sell a couple hundred, you might, I don't know. I think you could crack at least like number 100 or something if you sell a couple hundred copies. Yeah, but poetry, I don't think you come to the genre of poetry to make money, dude. But yeah, I don't want to limit myself. You never know. You never know, man. Anything's possible. Be prayerful, be hopeful. Obviously, I'm not hedging all my bets on this, but it's always nice to shoot for the stars, and maybe you land a few feet ahead. You don't even break the atmosphere, but hey. Ain't no crime. Ain't no crime in dreaming. Ain't no crime in dreaming. Ain't no crime in dreaming. Ain't no crime. You just gotta try. We gotta revive this genre, man. We gotta revive it. We gotta do something about this. This is ridiculous. Because some people just want to be poets. So it shouldn't be the case that if you want to be a poet, that you should forget about making money. That shouldn't be the case. Poetry is a valid art form. We need to bring it back. You know, the issue is a lot of modern poetry is also like what the hell? Like I was reading some poems on this website. I was like, this is bad. Now, granted, I think anyone can publish on that website. I'm not sure how it works, but I didn't see like an option to just publish. But yeah, I don't know. All I know is we need a revival, dude. This is bad. This is unacceptable. Yeah, like I said, what I have that a lot of these people don't have probably is this platform where I can reach a lot of people. And God willing, if I don't know if it's possible to get a couple hundred to get the book just through this platform alone, but you know, it's possible. In the past 28 days, YouTube says I got 107,000 views. So if I can get like a few hundred of those people to get the book, that'd be amazing. But yeah, you know, it's hard. It's hard. So I think I should set the price really low. I shouldn't be focused on making money. I should be focused on just selling the book. Just as an experiment to see. I'm worried that if you make it too cheap, people look at it as being cheap. You know, that's a concern, but at the same time, I don't know. I'll make it $1. I think I'll just make it 99 cents. And you know, profit shouldn't be a concern because obviously poetry doesn't sell well. You shouldn't get into poetry to make money, at least not now. Not in its current state. But yeah, again, we need to shout out who? Amanda Gorman, who sold 1 million copies. Who is this person? So you got Amanda Gorman. American poet and activist. Oh golly, activist. She's black, so when I see a black person it says activist, I'm like, oh no. She's an American poet and activist. Her work focuses on issues of oppression, feminism, race, and marginalization. Okay, I see what's going on here. I mean, it's still an accomplishment, regardless. You know, in the times we're in, the whole oppression narrative, yeah, if you're not leaning into that, it's quite a popular thing. Rupi Kaur. Milk and honey. Picoar. How do I say her name? She's a Canadian poet, illustrator, photographer, and author. So I don't think she's an activist. She might be, you never know. She began performing poetry in 2009 and rose to fame on Instagram, eventually becoming a popular poet through her 3 collections of poetry. Let me read an article about her. If poetry is to be a necessity for life rather than a luxury, then it should be accessible. And the best-selling Instagram poet has allowed many to see their feelings reflected in textual form. Yeah. So one of her poems is titled Stay, and the poem is Stay, I whispered as you closed the door behind you. So I know what they mean when they say Instagram poetry. It's like, you know, these poems that are like, it's more like phrases, like sentences, more than like poetry. At least from the traditional point of view. You know? So some people might not be a fan of that. Like the article I'm reading, they showed a tweet from someone saying not to gatekeep poetry, but I hate I hate Rupi Kaur type poetry. Like, okay, you made a nice sounding sentence and just hit the enter button at random spots in it. Like, where's the meter, the rhyme scheme, or the literary devices, the syllable counts? Where are the literary skills? I mean, I get that because, yeah, you know, I think people they want like traditional poetry, and this it's you know, when you say stay, I whispered as you shut the door behind you, and that's the poem. Like, let me show you. I don't know if you can see that. Like, I can't see what you're seeing, but stay, I whispered as you shut the door behind you. I think, you know, she might be very skilled, but she might have just capitalized on like this trend. It might be attractive to some people. I don't know. I try to like write more traditional poetry. Like, I actually think about my lines and having stanzas, having a structure, the iambic pentameter, counting my syllables, stuff like that. The rhyming, the deeper messages, the metaphors, stuff like that. I try to incorporate all of that, and I have different type of poems. Ones where I'm playing with alliteration and all these sort of things. And I try to read, you know, other poets, like the classic poets as well, just to pick up on certain things that I can potentially use in my own poems. This is not that. This is more simplified. Let me just read the article, then I'll end there. And yeah, it's 2016 and you're on the wean off Tumblr. That's okay. Instagram's made some algorithmic changes to your explore page, and now exercise videos are sandwiched between Kermit the Frog memes and RIP Harambe tribute posts. Damn, when was this written? This was written in 2014. Wait, no, this was not written in 2014 because they're talking about 2016. When was this written? When was this written? Why don't they have a date published? The only date I see is 2014. But this, anyway. You continue to scroll through Vampire Diaries gifts and share the Harambe in Heaven pic before. Do y'all remember Harambe? I remember that was in high school and that happened. Anyway, because you care about animal rights, you scoff to yourself. Wait, you can't just be a meme girl, so you keep scrolling till you'll find it. The one thing that'll make you a bit more cultured. Poetry. A snippet from Rupi Kaur's book Milk and Honey arises from the digital ashes. You share it on your story, and just like milk, the DMs come pouring in. A gaggle of "My Queen," poet of our generation, and "OMG, she speaks to my soul" materialize on your screen. At the time, as a recovering slam poet, I saw Rupi Kaur as the blueprint for poetry. Kaur garnered widespread attention for her bite-sized poems and scrollings on Instagram. That's also something to consider because she's, publishing this stuff on Instagram. It can't be these long poems as well. It has to be bite-sized. Hey man, she capitalized on that niche and made a ton of money in a genre no one's making money. So that's something to consider. I was such a fan that my sister even surprised me with tickets to her talk at the 2017 Sydney Writers' Festival. Suited for the medium, her poems were in lowercase, averaging about 15 words, with so many line breaks you'd think she was at war with the enter key. My friends and I formed a sort of sisterhood of the traveling Milk and Honey, passing it along for a maximum possession period of 1 day. That's how long it took to read it. We would reconvene and discuss it at length, exploring themes like love, femininity, abuse, identity, and migration. The poems were like the Spice Girls of trauma, offering something for each of us. Yeah, this is definitely giving the modern 21st century feminist vibes. We would read our selected poem, knowingly nodding at the choirs of babes, so you, or occasional aspirated woe. There was no doubt Rupi Kaur touched a generation of young readers as she addressed the uncomfortable experiences of womanhood that many yearns to finally have acknowledged. Instagram embraced this form due to its brevity, enabling a sense of community to thrive as individuals. As individuals could engage with poems through comment and shares. This exposure contributed to the democratization of publishing, breaking away from the traditional gatekeepers. A new generation of writers could now connect directly with their readers. Consequently, Kaur went on to self-publish her first book of poetry, Milk and Honey. Wait, she self-published, I think on Amazon, and probably paperback as well. Milk and Honey sold 11 million copies worldwide and was translated into 43 languages, 42 more than the average Australian politician can name. Kaur became a household name, earning more accolades than most writers who had toiled through traditional scholarly routes and industries. Sorry, Prince Harry. This sparked heated online discourse, with many discrediting her work and labeling her poems as devoid of literary merit, likening them to a glorified grocery list. A friend even dubbed her the Taylor Swift of poetry. Damn. An entire genre of memes was born from these polemics. Slapping Rupi Kaur at the end of any vapid statement practically guaranteed you hundreds of retweets, with many quoting existing icons only to misquote it as Rupi Kaur. By 2019, I was in recovery again, this time from being a Rupi Kaur fan. I made my sobriety known by using Rupi as an adjective to describe whatever I found to be corny. Anything in its likeness was cringe, while I, as far as I was concerned, was based. I officially grew up only to become a hater, swapping poetry for the pouring of the tea. Today, however, I find myself embracing opposing perspectives, less swayed by my interests being markers of my identity. I've finally struck a balance between the poles of cringe and based. A few weeks ago, I revised Audre Lorde's essay, Poetry is Not a Luxury, where she states, poetry is not a luxury, it is a vital necessity of existence. In past readings, I grasped the importance of poetry in breathing life into women's experiences, its role in our expression and empowerment. However, during this reading, I lingered on the line necessity for existence. It's okay. We get it. We get it. So, Instagram poetry, it's niche. Some people like it, some people don't. Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't think it takes much skill to do that. I think the skill is in the marketing. The actual skill is in the marketing. Because, some of these things, bro, some of these poems. But maybe let me read some of, because there's a long poem, long-ish by her standards here. What terrifies me most is how we foam at the mouth with envy when others succeed, but sigh in relief when they are failing. Our struggle to celebrate each other is what's proven most difficult in being human. It just lacks the literary devices that we generally subscribe to poetry. So that rhythm, things like rhythm, like the iambic pentameter, your alliteration, your metaphors, your this, your that, it just doesn't have, like, it's just someone just typing out statements, but then putting it in the form of a poem. But that doesn't necessarily make it a poem, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can take, like, let's say you post something on Twitter, like you post a thought on Twitter. If you could just take that and put it in poetry form, you know, separate it into stanzas and stuff, and then call it a poem, but that doesn't mean it's actually a poem. Let's keep reading, because I'm on Google Images, and a couple of her poems are here. You treat them as if they have a heart like yours, but not everyone can be as soft and as tender as you. You don't see the person they are, you see the person they have the potential to be. You give and give till they have taken everything out of you and leave you empty. That could be a poem. It does have a poetic air to it. You treat them as if they have a heart like yours, but not everyone can be as soft and as tender as you. You don't see the person they are, you see the person they have the potential to be. You give and give till they have taken everything out of you and leave you empty. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Let me read another one. You ask if we can still be friends. I explain how a honeybee does not dream of kissing the mouth of a flower and then settle for its leaves. I don't need more friends. In that could be a poem. That is a poem. You ask if we can still be friends. I explain. It's just that the breaks. Yeah, you Google Rupi Kaur. Kaur is spelled K-A-U-R. Rupi is spelled R-U-P-I. Kaur is spelled K-A-U-R. And then go on Google Images and you'll see her poems, and then I guess you can decipher yourself. It's just funny because she just presses enter, because it reads like something someone writes on, like, on an Insta caption or like on Twitter, but she just adds the breaks. She just presses enter and it looks like a poem. But you know, the debate about whether it's actually poetry, what is poetry, you know, that's why I think traditionally there were things that we looked at to describe something as a poem. Let me read that one more time. You ask if we can still be friends. I explain how a honeybee does not dream of kissing the mouth of a flower and then settle for its leaves. I don't need more friends. There's depth there. Honeybee does not dream of kissing the mouth of a flower and then settle for its leaves. So yeah, I get that. Yeah, that is poetic. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. This video ended up being longer than I intended it to be. What we learned is that poetry, that's not so. I'll make it $1. Yeah, I don't want to make it too expensive. If I make it $1, some people might be like, screw it, I'll buy it just to see what's up. If I make it too expensive, I was thinking $5 or something, but if I make it $5, I reduce the likelihood of people actually getting it. So if I make it $1, I might have some luck. We'll see. I'll keep promoting it. We'll see what it's like. And I like to pray that over my videos. Dear Father God, thank you for this individual watching this right now. Thank you for making them whole and unique and guide them on a path towards peace, prosperity, and purpose. Thank you for blessing this person with wonderful people in their life who love them, take care of them, bring the absolute best out of them. And thank you for maintaining the ones that are there to do the same thing. Thank you for blessing this person with a spirit of gratitude so they can give thanks for all the wonderful things in their life and by giving thanks. Thank you for find peace, contentment, and attract even more blessings. Let your presence be felt in this person's life so they know that you're God, they're real, and you so they know that you're God, that you're real, that you love them, you're always going to be there for them. Good health, long life, and happiness over this person, everyone that care about you. My name is Jesus, amen, 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 amen.